Listen to this. When was the last time you truly looked in the mirror and asked yourself, am I living the life I want? Not the life others expect from me, not what society deems acceptable, but the life that resonates deeply with my soul. Carl Jung, one of psychology's most profound thinkers, left us with a powerful lesson many fear to follow: the importance of choosing yourself, even when everything seems to push you in the opposite direction. We exist in a world carefully designed to distract us, keeping us trapped in endless routines and obligations that feel impossible to escape. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with demands: work, family, social expectations, all dictating how we should live, what success looks like, and who we should become. But here's a truth many refuse to accept. Every time you prioritize others above yourself, you silently tell your inner self that it doesn't matter. You ignore that quiet voice from your subconscious that persistently tries to guide you toward authenticity and fulfillment. Jung believed our connection with the unconscious isn't optional. It's essential to who we are. Yet so many of us silence it because facing our true selves can be uncomfortable. That unease you feel when something doesn't feel right, that's not random. That's your soul speaking to you, showing you something needs to change, even when change terrifies you. Reflect for a moment. How many of your recent decisions came from true authenticity, and how many were driven by fear? Fear of disappointing others, fear of breaking norms, fear of discomfort. Jung understood that decisions not rooted in your inner truth create nothing but chaos and disconnection. The further you stray from yourself, the more lost you become. But let's be clear. Choosing yourself isn't about rejecting others. This isn't about selfishness or disregarding those around you. It's about recognizing that to give your best to the world, you must first be at peace with yourself. This is the foundation of self-love, not a luxury, but the bedrock upon which all meaningful relationships are built. Consider your everyday interactions. How often do you say yes when you want to say no? How frequently do you suppress your true feelings just to keep the peace? Each time you do this, you're sending yourself a powerful message that your needs, desires, and boundaries don't matter as much as others. This creates an internal conflict that gradually erodes your sense of self. Jung's wisdom teaches us that we cannot pour from an empty cup. When you constantly sacrifice your own needs, you eventually have nothing left to give. This leads not to better relationships, but to resentment, exhaustion, and a profound sense of disconnection, both from yourself and from those around you. Before we continue exploring the power of your aura, if you are serious about improving your life by the end of this year, I want to invite you to subscribe and join the Wisdom Library community. We share daily insights just like these that will help you understand yourself and your impact on the world. Also, comment a topic you will want us to talk about, and we'll make a video about it. Let's continue. When you choose to prioritize yourself, something profound shifts in your energy. You begin attracting people and situations aligned with your true essence. The universe seems to respond to your authenticity, removing what no longer serves you and bringing forth what you need to grow. This isn't just spiritual theory. It's deeply rooted in psychological reality. When you live authentically, your body language changes, your communication becomes clearer, and your decisions more aligned. People sense this shift. Those who resonate with authenticity are drawn to you, while relationships built on pretense or obligation naturally begin to dissolve. But this process requires courage, the courage to face uncomfortable truths about yourself and your life choices. Jung believed that our greatest growth occurs at the edge of discomfort, where we're challenged to confront aspects of ourselves we'd rather ignore. To reach this state of authenticity, you must confront your shadows, those parts of yourself you've ignored, suppressed, or feared. Jung described the shadow as the hidden aspect of our psyche, containing everything we'd rather not acknowledge. While facing your shadow is uncomfortable, it's within this confrontation that true transformation begins. Consider the qualities you most dislike in others. Jung would suggest these are often the very qualities you refuse to see in yourself, your shadow elements projected outward. When you judge someone harshly for being selfish, manipulative, or weak, you're often reacting to disowned parts of yourself that you've pushed into your unconscious. By acknowledging these shadow aspects, not with judgment, but with compassion and curiosity, you begin the process of integration. This doesn't mean acting on negative impulses, but understanding their roots and transforming their energy into something constructive. When you integrate your shadows, you unlock an inner power you never imagined. You gain clarity, seeing beyond the illusions you once believed in. You find purpose, a renewed sense of direction. Most importantly, you discover inner peace so profound that no external chaos can shake it. This integration leads to authenticity, the state of being undivided, where your outer actions align with your inner truth. No longer do you need to maintain different personas for different situations. The energy once spent maintaining these masks becomes available for creative pursuits, deeper connections, and meaningful work. Setting boundaries becomes natural, not as walls that shut people out, but as bridges to healthier relationships. You learn to say no without guilt and yes with genuine enthusiasm. Those who genuinely support you remain, while those who were only interested in what you could provide naturally fade away. This isn't coincidence, but the direct reflection of your internal transformation. Jung observed that our external reality often mirrors our internal state. When you're in conflict with yourself, conflict appears in your relationships. When you reject aspects of yourself, you experience rejection from others. But when you choose yourself, when you fully accept all that you are, the world begins responding differently. As you live from this place of authenticity, your intuition strengthens. That inner voice, which once seemed faint, starts guiding you with greater clarity. You make choices that not only make logical sense, but feel right deep within your soul. Jung called intuition one of our most powerful psychological functions, a direct line to the unconscious wisdom that has been gathering throughout your life. As you learn to trust this inner knowing, decision-making becomes less agonizing. You develop what Jung might call inner authority, the confidence to follow your own path even when it differs from conventional wisdom. The universe responds to this alignment. Jung called it synchronicity, those seemingly random yet perfectly timed events that unfold when you're in harmony with yourself. Doors open effortlessly, the right people appear at perfect moments, and everything flows in ways that once seemed impossible. These synchronicities aren't magical thinking, but reflections of a mind that has become more attuned to opportunities that align with your authentic path. You notice what you might have missed before, the conversation that leads to a perfect opportunity, the book that answers a question you've been pondering, the chance encounter that changes everything. This journey isn't always smooth. You'll face resistance, doubt, and fear. The world, so accustomed to the version of you that aimed to please everyone, will test your commitment. Friends may question your new boundaries. Family might resist your changed priorities. Colleagues could misinterpret your authenticity as selfishness. In these moments of challenge, remember Jung's insight that transformation is never easy. The butterfly must struggle out of the chrysalis to strengthen its wings. Without this struggle, it cannot fly. Similarly, The resistance you face is strengthening your commitment to your authentic self. Every time you reaffirm your decision to choose yourself, to honor your needs, to speak your truth, to live according to your values, you strengthen the connection with your true self. Each small victory builds confidence for the next challenge. Over time, living authentically becomes your natural state, rather than a constant effort. Jung believed that in midlife, we often face a crisis precisely because we've spent the first half of our lives becoming what others expected of us. The second half then becomes a quest to become who we truly are. But you don't need to wait for a crisis to begin this journey. You can choose yourself today, in this moment. Start with small acts of authenticity. Notice when you're saying yes out of obligation rather than genuine desire. Pay attention to activities that energize you versus those that drain you. Listen to your body's wisdom. The tension, exhaustion, or excitement it communicates about your choices. Living authentically creates a ripple effect beyond yourself. Your courage becomes a beacon for others still searching for their path. You don't merely transform your life, you contribute to a collective shift in consciousness, inspiring others simply by being genuine. When you show up as your authentic self, you give others permission to do the same. Your willingness to be vulnerable, to honor your truth, to choose yourself, becomes a living example of what's possible. Without speaking a word about personal growth, you demonstrate its power through your transformed presence. Jung understood that individual transformation is never isolated. It affects families, communities, and ultimately, the collective consciousness of humanity. By choosing yourself, you contribute to a world where authenticity is valued over conformity, where genuine connection replaces superficial approval seeking, where people are free to express their unique gifts. If this message has touched something deep within you, don't keep it to yourself. Share this video with someone who might need to hear it today. That friend who's struggling to set boundaries, that family member who's lost touch with their dreams, that colleague who's drowning in expectations. Your share could be the catalyst for their transformation. And if you haven't already, join our Motivation Dose community by subscribing now. Every single day, we bring you wisdom that cuts through the noise and speaks directly to your soul. While others offer temporary motivation, we're committed to content that creates lasting change. Our library of videos becomes a resource you can return to whenever you need guidance, inspiration, or simply a reminder of your own power to choose yourself. Tap that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and become part of a movement dedicated to authentic living. Together, we're creating a community where transformation isn't just possible, it's inevitable. Remember the profound truth Jung left us with. Life truly begins the moment you decide to choose yourself. The greatest gift you can give yourself and the world is to be unapologetically, authentically you. Your soul has been waiting for this moment. Your life has been preparing you for this choice. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. But above all, thank you for having the courage to embrace your authentic self. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and choosing yourself is that crucial step. I'll see you tomorrow with another dose of motivation that not only inspires, but transforms. Until then, remember that you are worthy of your own choice, worthy of choosing yourself above all else.